Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter's half-sister the truth about her mom and dad and potentially alienating her from them? I, 42 male, have one daughter with ex-fiancé, 35 female, who is 14 years old. My fiancé got pregnant shortly after with another child who ultimately turned out not to be mine. This girl is now 13 and she lives with my ex and her new husband. When my daughter was 2.5 years old and her sister was almost 1 year old, my fiancé revealed something crazy to me. Essentially, she had been living a double life and the kids that I thought were mine were not in fact mine. I am somewhat clueless of a man and spent a lot of time working as I was an up-and-coming programmer at the time. On top of this, I am a total introvert, so I was completely blindsided by this. Essentially, my fiancé was really young when we met, and she was a poor college student at the time. She only hooked up with me because I had a good job and health insurance, and she told me she needed the insurance to get through the pregnancies. Now, some of this was a lie, because DNA tests revealed that I was the father of the oldest girl. I should have been mad and outraged, but I was just sad. I actually tried to fight in courts to be the legal dad of the 1-year-old that was not biologically mine. I lost a court battle, and only got partial custody of my daughter. Surprisingly, we were able to co-parent well despite the traumatic background. My daughter and her half-sister are incredibly good friends and hang around in the same social circles. Therefore, when my daughter had birthday parties or any celebration or sleepover at my house, her sister always came along. I didn't mind this at all and supported it. So here is where I may be the a-hole. I am doing very well for myself, whereas my ex-fiancé is not. Her and her husband and 4 kids total live in an apartment that is about 15 minutes walk from my 3-bedroom house. The husband is not the dad of the 13-year-old, and he bolted long ago, leaving 13-year-old with a very absentee father. Additionally, the current stepdad is on disability and just lays in bed taking pills all day. Not a bad guy, but got into a work accident and got dependent, I guess. I pay more in child support than I am legally required, because I know they use what I pay for them for the other kids as well, and I want my daughter safe. I guess the conditions are not comfortable for my daughter and her half-sister, so they often walk to my house and stuff when they need to get away. One day, the 13-year-old was really upset about something her bio dad did, and even told me that I did more for her than he did. That's when I just let her know the truth about our history. Apparently, this made her blow up at her mom, and she begged for me to adopt her basically, and now her mom doesn't want her at my house. I feel like I am not an a-hole for just telling the truth, that I was legally her father for a year, but honestly, I just let the truth out because I want her to know why I was doing so much for her. Am I the a-hole for revealing the truth about her mom? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. It always amazes me how people get mad when others learn the truth about them. If you're embarrassed to tell people, then why would you do it? She wanted to discuss parentage with you and you told her the truth about hers. She's 13, which is just shy of the age where most kids are legally allowed to have input in which parent they live with. The court feels that these kids are old enough. I can tell you that I hated learning about things much later in life and hated that family ever tried to hide stuff. It felt like betrayal. I always appreciated the adults who were upfront about it. To make a real follow-up to this, unlike the "you're the a-hole" comments which was bonkers, I think you hit the nail in the head. If Opie didn't say anything at all false, and he just told the truth, he can't be the a-hole. And exactly as you said, if you don't want something to be told about you or to be known about you, why do it in the first place? The kids deserve to know the truth about their parents. And if you think lying to your mature enough kids is the right thing to do because you don't want people to think you did something you actually did to be known, then I don't know what to say. Not the a-hole. It doesn't sound like you did it maliciously, and she is old enough to know the truth. She would have learned sooner or later, and she deserves the truth. Yes, I totally agree. Kids can handle the truth as long as it's explained in an age-appropriate way. Better than storing up resentment for later. Not the a-hole. She's 13. That's old enough to understand the situation. I'm sure she feels loved and validated knowing that you did want to be a part of her life. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my bio dad my stepdad is walking me down the aisle? I, 29 female, am getting married this year, and I told my bio dad, 57 male, that he will not be walking me down the aisle. My mom, 50 female, and him divorced when I was about 4 years old. They had a very horrible relationship, and he has done and said a lot of terrible things to her, some of which I have memories of. Immediately after their split, he got with his now ex-wife who mistreated me. She would often refer to me as the loose woman's daughter, and drunkenly tried to attack me numerous times. Because of this, I never wanted to go to their house or have a relationship with my dad. I would cry and beg to not go visit them. Eventually, the court ruled that I couldn't be forced to visit if I didn't want to. I'm close with some of the family members on my dad's side, particularly my grandmother, aunt, and some cousins, so I would see him when visiting with them. I had told him we would never have a relationship as long as he was with his wife, because of all the trauma she has caused me and other family members. He condoned her behavior. A few years ago, he let me know he was taking their kids, who had been subject to years of mistreatment, and leaving her. He never apologized or wanted to repair our relationship, but simply wanted me to testify against her in court. While he is still going through the divorce and custody battle, he has also since moved on and gotten engaged to another woman. Our relationship has been an endless cycle of him telling me he wants to be involved in my life, but never actually making an effort. I consider him more of a family friend as our relationship is very surface level. A few months ago, my grandmother was very sick and had surgery, and had to find out from my aunt and my mom's side. My stepdad, 48 male, has been in my life since I was 9, and we have an amazing relationship. My fiancé and I spent a lot of time with my parents and my 2 younger siblings. He had never once asked me who would be walking me down the aisle, but he has said whatever I decide, he would respect since it was my day. Although I don't call him dad, he has taken on that role in every aspect of my life. When I told my bio dad about my decision, he was very upset and said that in his eyes it would have been okay if it both walks me down. He went on to say my stepdad had only been there half my life, and that as a baby I was his pride and joy. I asked him to instead do a reading during the ceremony, which was not good enough for him. When he declined, I said, okay, thank you, and that I looked forward to seeing him at the wedding, as it is not uncommon for us going 6+ months without seeing each other unless other family members invite me to events. Then he responded by asking if he did something wrong to make me not want him there, despite me giving no indication that he was not welcome. I have refused to engage further with him, as I am uninterested in rehashing the trauma of my childhood with him once again. Am I the a-hole? You know the old expression, you can choose your friends but you can't choose your family? Sometimes that's flat out wrong. Like here, your stepfather chose you, and your bio father chose not you. You quite naturally shape your wedding based on those choices and the relationships that resulted. Not today, Hal. It's your wedding. I asked him to instead do a reading during the ceremony. You offered a nice compromise which he rejected. Stepfather's been the key father figure in your life for 20 years. In the words of the great Yondu, he may have been your father, girl, but he wasn't your daddy. Thank you. I understand it's his right to turn down the reading, but I felt like I gave him the role I was comfortable with, and that wasn't good enough. Not Dehal. He never apologized, doesn't seem to care about the negative effects he had in your life, but acts entitled. I don't think he actually cares about you, just what people might say if he doesn't walk you down the aisle. Honestly, that is exactly what I thought. He cares more about the perception from his family once everyone knows. Not Dehal. What a jerk he is. He just wants all the glory and attention of looking like a great father on your wedding day instead of actually being a great father. I'd do the same thing if I was in your shoes. Actually, I think you were really nice what you said when you told him. I would have told him the truth and exactly what I thought of him. Trust me, I wanted to. My fiancé was the one who told me to keep it short and sweet, so that he knows there's no room for discussion and a decision is made. Also, there's only so many times you can tell someone all the things they've done wrong. If they don't get it, they never will. Next story. Am I the a-hole for turning down my stepmother's necklace for my wedding? I, 25 female, am getting married later this year. Got a family necklace from my grandma that's my mom, aunts, grandma and 2 cousins weren't theirs. Had that locked in very early. And then my stepmother, of 14 years, tells me she saved the necklace from her wedding for me to wear for mine, as a symbol of us being a true mother-daughter despite not being biologically related. I told her that I had already gotten a necklace from my mom's family, and I wanted to wear that. She was upset. Asked me why I didn't want to get it from her over them. I said because I want something of my mom's to wear on my wedding day, and this has family meaning. She told me what she's giving me has meaning, since her mom gave it to her when she married my dad. I told her it was a sweet offer and I appreciated it, but she could always give it to one of her daughters when they get married. She said it wasn't about that she wanted me to wear it too, and she wanted me to find a way to wear it, not include it, but wear it. I told her I wasn't going to replace the other necklace with hers. She's hurt and angry with me. My dad asked me why I couldn't reassure her that I still see her as my mom and that she didn't need a necklace for that. I told him because I don't see her as my mom. I told him he knows that. She knows that. And yes, she loves me like a daughter, but a lie isn't going to make things better. She will still want me to wear her necklace. She will still bring it up down the line. They told me I should make it up to her and figure out how to wear it to make her happy. My dad suggested I wear one for the ceremony and one for the reception. I said no to that. He told me I was an a-hole for refusing to find a way. She told me that I could wear both together, that they could overlap and I could wear both my moms on me. To try and stop the drama and prevent them from bringing it up more, I asked would she be happy if it were pinned to my bouquet or something. She told me that's a piss-poor consolation prize, and she won't be happy unless I wear it, and that by refusing, I am being needlessly cruel. In my heart, I believe I handled it as well as I could. But am I the a-hole? The reaction to this is making me wonder if I need to reevaluate how I view this. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. It's your wedding and you want to wear the family necklace from your mom's side. That's your decision. If she isn't happy and doesn't understand, that's on her. She has no right to be angry about it. I guess she might be disappointed, but turning down any alternative makes her the a-hole here. Edit. From reading the comments, I see you lost your mom, so that makes stepmom even more the a-hole and she can buzz all the way off. I'm sorry for your loss. Forget about keeping the peace. Stepmother is already on a rampage. Her and her father have bulldozed their way of thinking throughout Opie's life. They expected that Opie loved the stepmother as if she was her biological mom. The boundary pushing continues and will go on unless Opie takes a stand. This is Opie's opportunity to be independent and not compromise herself for the sake of keeping the peace, since it appears that she has been doing that all her life with the stepmother. Time to stop this pushy behavior, especially when it's Opie's day. No compromises, no prisoners. Continue saying no to all suggestions. Do not entertain any suggestions nor give a reason as to why not. Not a-hole. She's being needlessly difficult, and the bouquet thing was a good compromise. Piggybacking to add that since she's being difficult, time to take no prisoners. I want to wear my dead mother's necklace for my wedding. Why are you trying to take away my connection to my dead mother? Hit them hard with guilt trip. Remind them nobody who actually loves you would want to take this from you. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my child's mother that she knew what she signed up for? I had a very short relationship with a woman. We weren't really together because I don't, have relationships with people very often because it disgusts me. I've diagnosed OCD, but would be germaphobe even without that. I've been in therapy, but some things don't go away. I don't have as many of the rituals, but I can't just ignore how disgusting people are. I can't deal with bodily fluids at all. I know immediately when something, example a baby needing a diaper change when I'm holding them, happens and I just need them away from me, so I can try not to need to leave immediately to go puke or take a shower. I also have epilepsy, and with my meds and condition, I have to have a solid 8 hours of sleep every night. There are no exceptions to this unless I want to be of even less help and end up in the hospital with potentially now ineffective meds. Because of these two things, I never wanted to have children or thought that it would happen. I've always used protection on the rare occasions that it came up, but one of them breaks and here we are. When my child's mother got pregnant, I made sure she was aware of these things, but she chose to keep the baby anyway. We broke up, and while there is no formal child support, I try to help. I visit her and the baby multiple times a week, and can hold the baby so she can go do something else. It just can't last that long before she has to come deal with it. I cannot change diapers or do feeds or anything like that. She is now complaining that she has to do everything by herself, is overwhelmed, It has no help because she can't just have constant visitors like in normal times and I don't do anything. Because I literally can't. I reminded her that she knew what she signed up for when she insisted on keeping the baby. And now she's mad at me and is enlisting whoever she can. Am I in the wrong here? She chose this knowing that I won't be able to help her beyond money. Everyone sucks here. There is a risk to sleeping together, and babies are a part of that risk. Even with protection or birth control, no option is 100% risk-free. You're not a victim. Nobody is a victim here except the child. You should look into getting a vasectomy so you don't have any more accidents. Get a vasectomy and go to the courts to work out how much child support you should be paying. As is, you're dropping the ball massively. Completely this. You're the a-hole, OP. You should have gotten a vasectomy as soon as you were old enough. Men don't have the same restrictions on their body autonomy as women do, and that would have been the responsible thing for you to do. You didn't. You couldn't be bothered to get a small change to your body that would ensure this wasn't a problem for you. But you're okay with thinking that you can just not do your share in raising a child. Not everyone believes in termination, and you think you can have the say over her body when really you had the say over yours. Go to court. Work out how much back pay you owe her for child support, and then pay regularly what the court determines you owe. I would have said equal share here, but you could have very easily ensured this would never be a problem for you. You chose not to, and you decided that you can get over your wishes long enough to be intimate and enjoyed it enough that you get off. But you can't get over your wishes to deal with an infant? Your choices, your messes. Deal with it. Find out how much money you owe. You're the a-hole. You say you made your child's mother aware of your limitations when she got pregnant. You always knew your limitations. You always knew that contraception can fail. You always knew that sleeping with a woman can lead to pregnancy. You should have made your girlfriend aware of your limitations before you ever did it. She wasn't fully informed before you had slept. Given that you're very clear that you never wanted children and can't contribute to raising them, it even goes so far as saying you should have had a vasectomy before even considering being intimate. Light, you're the a-hole. Not for being unable to do things due to your conditions, but definitely for the heartless way you're talking about the mother of your child. She's had a baby, in a pandemic, and she's telling you as clear as day that she's struggling. Could she have been nicer / used a better tone? Absolutely. But the mother of your child is struggling and needs help. It is on you to help her. If not with feeding / changing / night duty, then think of what other things you could be doing. Can you be doing the shopping for her? Could you help clean her place while she's in the baby nap? Could you cook food or buy meals in bulk? Can you help with mental load, booking appointments and accompanying them, researching daycares, shopping for the next size-up clothes? Could you organize for a laundry service to come and help out? You are capable of more than a monetary contribution, and you should start looking for ways to support your child and its mother.